Hello and welcome to week 6 of Chris and Jason's League Pick'em series, for lack of a better name. I am Chris, and today is my migraine-addled brain versus a surprisingly rejuvenated Jason.
Very surprising. Yeah, we've got some really good games to talk about, some really weird collapses and comebacks. But first, I'm going to start us off with what everyone obviously wants: a complete rant. You see that Bad Bunny is going to be the halftime show this year.
Make it quick.
All right. Yeah, I could not be any less excited about this. We have not had good halftime shows for a long time. But at least I am not going absolutely out of my mind like the right wing social media sphere right now. They just whine and complain and cry DEI about every single thing that that they don't agree with, and it is just, man, I just want to say to everybody out there, just grow up. Just grow up.
Well,
That's my rant.
surprisingly, I kind of
Yeah.
agree with you for the most part, for basically the same reasons. It's been like gangster rap for like a decade, so who the hell
Yeah.
cares anymore?
Whether
You
it's
know?
Kanye or whether it's Bad Bunny,
And
right?
it's
Like,
Jay Z is the one that runs it, from what I understand, or whatever. So
it is absolutely ridiculous. In another trying to start this like Freedom Bowl competing halftime show. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Just grow up.
I was
Have,
talking
have you
about
ever
this
had a
with.
halftime show that you like, Chrissy? Sorry for cutting you off. What?
Well, here's the thing. I really
Yeah.
only got hyper interested in football like 13, 14 seasons ago. It was kind
Mhm.
of probably when I was 19 or 20, I guess. So, no is the short answer. Now, the long answer is conceivably yes, because my mom always talks about like what the fuck happened to like Billy Joel and Elton John and shit like that, and I'm like, I would love to hear those guys if they
Do you
weren't
know what
like
actually happened to them?
well, they're really old for one.
Well, sure. But I mean, like Bruce Springsteen, who did just an absolute banger of a halftime show in 2009. Like he's still performing, in top form. He could do a great halftime show now.
Well, not to like
Um,
make this topic go on forever, but as I
yeah,
understand it, for like until like 2028 or 9 or something, the NFL has
2020.
given as the
Huh,
NFL has given exclusive rights to like Jay-Z to like plan the halftime show. So we're probably not
yeah,
going to get any different for another few years or
rather
whatever.
unfortunate.
So I don't. I'm with you. I do think it's just stupid, and it's not really a course correction to go from rapper X versus Hispanic rapper Y, whatever we're getting this season. So I don't really give a shit.
Yeah. What actually happened? I'll just give you the primer in 3 seconds. There was a halftime show, sometime probably around 2011, 2012 by The Who. Who's another band that your mom probably likes, and was very good. But their halftime show was just the biggest sleeper you have ever seen, on TV. And after that, they said, none of the great classic rock artists. Let's just, try to find people who are relevant to the 15-year-olds out there. And
Yeah. Same
yeah,
thing
that's what
happened to
happened.
World of Warcraft. Same thing happened to League. Just catch those Gen Zers. It's all it ever amounts to.
You remember the Black Eyed Peas halftime show? That one was awesome.
I never watched the
Yeah,
halftime
Flash in there
show.
too.
I want to mute it and just hang with my family. I don't give a shit about the halftime show.
That's probably pretty fair, right? Would
It's
you rather
just,
watch the halftime show or the commercials?
it's always stupid. I think the commercials are stupid too.
Most of them are. Anyhow,
Anyway,
thank you for indulging my rant. Let's talk about football.
slightly different format this week for the sake of my mental health. We're going to skip some of these. And unless I'm willing to indulge you if you have a few things you want to complain about. But let's skip right to the Dolphins, because obviously I'm not too sick to not still make fun of them. What happened this game? Because I'm sure you watched it in your local, right?
I want to hear your thoughts on Texans Ravens afterwards,
My
but
th-
this was one of the biggest collapses I have ever seen by my Dolphins team. Um, probably like Probably like the next biggest collapse I can think of is when we gave up 2 touchdowns in the final 2 minutes against the Titans to lose a game a couple years ago, and when we lost to Tebow in his I think his first start ever. We also gave up 2 touchdowns in the fourth there against somehow Tim Tebow. So anyhow, this was horrible. Dolphins started out 17-0. They were looking really good. They were using a lot of motion, and they stopped using motion. They stopped going to Evan Ingram. Sorry, not Evan Ingram. Darren Waller, our tight end, who
I picked him up.
who was just he was coming so alive in that first half, and then they just stopped throwing to him.
That's what I said when I was watching my fantasy. I'm like, dude, this guy made 19 points in the first half, and then he only made 1 point in the second half. What happened?
Yeah, play calling was bad. I don't think the game management was bad per se, but the play calling was not good. Panthers, on the other hand, really, really gutsy performance. They were, again, Dolphins were ahead by 17. Carolina was behind by 17.
Was this the game where Rico Dowdle ran for 200 yards?
Yes, sir. This is it.
Okay, what happened?
Yeah, they just could not stop him, even when they hit him. He would just bounce off people. He looked like freaking Devin Achan. Yeah,
that guy can't take it.
This was just a really gutsy comeback by the Panthers. This saves their season. I still don't think they're necessarily going anywhere fast, but it was really nice to see for them.
All right, I made fun of you. Okay, now you said I don't feel like there's a lot to say with the Ravens. I mean, this defense manages to be worse than the Cowboys' defense now. So it's just, I mean, Lamar didn't play in this game, obviously. I don't really think there's a lot to say. This defense is now giving up more points and more yardage than the Cowboys' defense. It's probably the worst in the league in several metrics.
Yeah, we both had the Ravens. Oh, you forgot to say what our records were, or maybe you did that intentionally.
Well, since I forgot to do it at the beginning, I was just going to do it at the end.
Okay. They're not good.
I own it. I own it when I do bad, too. That's cool.
All right. Colts, 40 points. Obviously, it's against the Raiders, but they had 40 points before the fourth quarter even. Pretty impressive by Daniel Jones, by Taylor. Really just very much a team effort. Wanted to point that one out. What else you got?
Well, let's skip through these. Highlights are you picked the Vikings. I picked the Browns. The Browns could not pull it off. Thought the defense would be clutch enough. They were not. Let's move on to something more exciting. Let's see. You picked the Saints, and they managed to get their first win of the seasons. I thought there'd be enough of like a sugar high on this Giants team to win like 2 in a row, but that came later.
Giants really are a team that bounces around between surprising wins and just terrible losses.
All right, and then my boys up next. We got our first, honestly, dominant win of the season. It was much more runnaway game than this score indicates. This is basically like they were like 4 possessions behind like most of the game. This is our only like truly dominant win of the season. I know the Jets are poverty, I know, and we have to play the Panthers next week.
Only winless team in the league.
Yeah, that's funny. I remember Aaron giving them some wins. That's funny how that is.
I mean, by some, you mean like 3 wins off season?
I think it was 5 or 6.
You're not wrong that they look even worse now than they did with Aaron.
Okay.
I'll admit that.
So don't give me guff.
Really, really, really bad, and he left them in an awful position.
All right, the next highlight, or I would talk for an hour probably about the Cowboys. The Eagles lost their first game. This is last week. Lost their first game against the Broncos, and the second half for the Eagles, as I understand it statistically, was absolutely just buffoonish. Where they got like -4 yards in the whole second half or something. Something really bad.
I watched that game. I don't remember. I mean, it was a little while ago now.
Didn't they go 3 and out on almost like 9 consecutive drives in like the end of the game?
Yeah, they definitely looked pretty bad after the early part of the third quarter.
And this was the game that Saquon only had like 6 touches somehow. It was just crazy.
Now, that said, they were up going into the fourth quarter, 17-3, and they found a way to lose this. So yeah,
All right,
like
next
they
up.
outplayed the Denver offense for most of that game, and then just absolutely collapsed.
Next up, of small consequence, the Titans get their first win of the season against the increasingly parvely Cardinals. Another one of the stinker games we both called wrong. That shows what we get for picking the Cardinals ever.
Yeah. Do you know? Do you know? Did you see the drop in this game?
Did I see the is this like the joke where like Murray got a
Yeah.
hit the ball in the head and got a concussion or something?
Oh no! This is
I didn't
it
see
was
it because this is a game that no one sees.
yeah. Mercado on the Cardinals had like a 72-yard touchdown that as he ran into the end zone, he extended his hand to like show off. You know, they like, always want to like roll the ball off their hand and whatever. And it
Mm-hmm.
came out of his hand just before they had to go to replay. Just before
Yeah.
he crossed the goal line, it was a touchback, and that cost them the game.
Yeah, there's like five guys that do that every
Holden
season.
Adonai Mitchell, yeah.
All
So that
right.
is why the Cardinals lost to the Titans.
Yeah, that sucks. Next up, we
Yeah.
got a game I did actually watch. Probably the banger of the week in a very, very like epic second half where it was just like non-stop running down the field, up ways, both sides, up and hill, whatever you want to call it. Epic game that the Bucks just barely pulled out. Let's see. This is the only one. We have three contested picks, and thankfully Baker did me justice, and I scraped by with this one.
Barely nursing her lead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sadly missed this, but yeah, like watching the score run up and having it not be like fourth quarter garbage time, I'd say this was the game of the week.
Definitely. All right, let's give it scuttle down here. The Chargers lost to the Redskins, and then finally the last two, we got the Patriots upsetting the Bills. I did watch this
This
game,
was
and
a shocker.
this was a shocker. But I'm also say that I think this game was a fluke. I think if they played nine more times, the Bills would win them all. The kind of turnovers the Patriots actually got like spoon fed this game are not like replicable. This was like a botched handoff. It was like a goofy fumble from like James Cook. It's just it would not be replicable when they play this again later this year. I expect the Bills to routinely pummel them.
Yeah, I mean, while I don't disagree with that, and the Bills, tend to be especially good in the regular season as you get into December and January. I think they have some type of like, ridiculous, probably 90% win rate in December. For the last handful of years. You gotta admit the Patriots are a good team.
Yes, they're definitely trending way way up, like better
Yeah,
than Bears expectations.
for sure. Oh,
That's
sure, for sure.
that's where everyone
I'd
was
say
high on.
the Patriots, I would argue they might be a top half team in the league right now.
Yeah, maybe I have to look at it all. You might be right.
Yeah, but I think it would be fair to place them like somewhere around the middle.
And then we
Yeah,
got
really
the
encouraging.
the cream de la creme of the week, the Jags upsetting the Chiefs, and shame on me. If I was Chris of yesteryear, I would have gotten all these games picking against the Chiefs from last
Eh,
season and shit,
so
man.
happy.
But I keep picking them to beat the good teams, and they kind of do, and then they end up losing against the bad teams.
Yeah,
And now we got
Jags.
the Jags. I don't think their
Sneaky good.
offense is this for real. I honestly am shocked the Chiefs were got this much scored on them. But
Yeah, I got to watch all of this.
me too.
Yeah. First of all, like Chiefs, out to a very quick 14-0 start. This was another one of those collapses this week.
This
Yeah,
is
Jags
probably one of
very
the.
impressive.
I'm sorry. Keep going.
It's okay. Trevor Lawrence extended a lot of plays and then hit receivers or just straight up ran through defenders for first downs. He was just a man possessed this game against
That
a really good Chiefs D.
that final touchdown of the game was like a Herculean effort, and he even like stumbled a second time, and he still got up. That was pretty epic at the end.
Yeah, that was so unreal. It's like, what are you doing? Oh my god, this is gonna work. And yeah, it wasn't his fault that he stumbled. Like you can see on the replay, the guy stepped on the
Yeah,
lineman,
the
just straight
guard.
up
Yeah,
like jammed his foot into the ground.
yeah, classic.
Um, and Lawrence still found a way to make it happen. I'm with you. I think he's not a Super Bowl quarterback or anything, but he can put forth some really impressive work sometimes.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I feel like the stats on the season for Lawrence are so mediocre. This was more of a tale of the Chiefs' defense being just like uh, bizarrely incompetent more than some kind of resurgent Jaguars offense.
yeah. I think he's better than his stats, honestly. I think like if you look at like how hard he has to work, given what his team is doing around him sometimes to put up the stats, to get the touchdowns by driving down the field, to extend a play that his line absolutely collapsed on. I think he deserves more credit than his stats warrant, I would say.
Well, he definitely deserves it in this game. I never won't take that away from him.
Yeah. Last thing I wanted to get in from last week before we go to the prop bets or the records. Raise your hand if you had Emeka Egbuka as a top three wide receiver at this point in the season.
Well, at least in my league, he was taken in the draft, so most people
Well,
probably knew something.
yeah, I mean he was taken in the first round this year, so like it's reasonable to take a flyer on him. But whoever thought he'd be this good?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
how much of that is because like Evans and Chris Godwin have been hurt, so he's basically been forced the ball a ton of times. Now, I'm not
no
saying
question.
he's not talented, but
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
getting way more targets than he should have been getting. You know?
No question about it, right? Baker and Baker just being there and playing out of his mind, and Evans's injury has thrust him into a bigger role. But
I think he's
all that
completely
said,
usurped the position at this point. I think even when Evans comes back and Godwin's at 100%, I think he'll continue to be the number one now from this
yeah,
point
I
forward.
mean, as a rookie to be that good, over 5 consecutive weeks this quickly, and he just keeps getting better every week. Um, Really is pretty cool. Puka is actually the number one fantasy wideout, though. I was a little
Hmm.
bit surprised at that, even though he's obviously having a monster season.
And who's that number one fantasy quarterback and tight end?
I sure hope it's not Aaron.
Nope.
Is it Baker?
It's
Is it Baker?
Dak. It's Dak and Dak's tight end, Jake
Oh,
Ferguson. That's right.
wow. Even with a couple of stinkers that you guys played.
Stinkers. Well, every stinker's a shootout. That's why we got so many points.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, yeah. The shootouts, even more than like a really good dominant team, tend to produce the best fantasy players.
Mm, crazy.
All right. So our prop bets last week, should we just say they failed miserably, or should we go out their own? Because
Uh,
they both failed miserably.
was yours was something about the Jets actually doing well, wasn't it, or something? I forget.
Mine was that the Jets' only scores would be on Fields' rushing touchdowns, but
You're
their two touchdowns were
crazy.
actually Fields' short passing touchdowns.
Yeah, I have no idea what keeps possessing you to bet in favor of like the Cowboys defense. I'm like, haven't you learned your lesson by now? They suck.
I was just saying, of their touchdowns, however many there were, whether there was one or four, that that the only all of them would just be Fields rushes.
Yeah, and then mine
That was
was
more an
like basic.
anti-Jet. Honestly, it was more of an anti-Jets bet than a pro Dallas Cowboys D bet.
Mine was that like a bunch of traditionally poor pass catching or passer quarterbacks would all get 250, and needless to say,
Yeah.
Jackson Dart didn't, so it kind of blew up the whole thing. But I'm sure
uh,
most of them didn't.
yeah, I don't even think Trevor Lawrence did. As good of a game as he had, I think he was a little under that. I don't think Flacco or Donald had it, but anyway. Yeah.
Anyway,
We were both madly wrong.
I went 4-10 this week. Just crazy collapse. Hard to imagine it gets worse. But then to make myself feel better, Jason only went 5-9, and now that only preserves a one-game lead for me, as I now am 45-33 to Jason's 44-34. How embarrassing!
I've got you 3 weeks in a row now after a pretty bad start, so you better nurse that lead in week 6, buddy.
I'll do my best. All right,
All
let's
right.
move on to the fun part, talking about even more football.
Okay, and since we're recording this after Thursday's game this week, we have already seen the result of Eagles Giants. We both made our picks before the game, and we were both considering picking the Giants, but we both ended up
What?
not
Don't,
trusting
don't,
our gut, going for Philadelphia,
don't
and we're
even
shaking our heads right now.
Don't even fucking pretend. You didn't say shit that implied you were going to pick the Eagles. I straight up said that they were going to go on a losing spree. You didn't say
Yeah, and
shit.
then you picked the Eagles. I literally said in my message that I don't feel confident at all about Philly in this one, but I'm taking them.
Anyway, yeah, absolutely. I actually couldn't get fucking Amazon Prime to work on my computer, so I had to listen to some goofy Philly radio station. And you would not believe the comedic duo of goofballs I had to listen to actually listen to this game. There's one guy who sounded like some 80-year-old Italian mobster. I guess that was a Philly accent. And the other guy, this was the play-by-play guy, he sounded just like Regis Philbin's like corpse. It was the most bizarre thing I've listened to in a long time. It was kind of dumb at first, but then it got kind of humorous because I guess you're allowed to be way more insulting and mean on like radio than in like public broadcasts.
Probably, yeah. The standards and practices aren't as strict, as they would be on like a major network.
Well,
Does Regis Philbin's corpse sound the same as Regis Philbin?
well, a little older, but yes.
Fair enough.
I'm telling
I
this
have the
guy sounded exactly like Regis Philbin. It was funny.
I have the message right here, October 9th at 3:36 p.m. your time. Yeah, I'm not too confident in my Eagles pick after last week either. NYG have shown signs of life. Bitch.
Wow. There wasn't any passion behind those words. That's what I'm getting at. Anyway, these two were obviously like ridiculously pro Phillies guys, and they were just bashing on the Eagles the whole time. And I didn't actually get to watch the game, but I did intently listen to this whole thing. And this was just a super embarrassing game, and it was so funny to listen to these guys. They were just like filled with like heartache and were so mad the whole game.
Philly fans, man. Philly fans are passionate. Say what you want about them, they're passionate.
There was like this tackle that like one of the Eagles missed like in the fourth quarter, and they were already super mad by this point. And one of the Scatavoo guy, he just like ran past this guy and got like a touchdown. And then like the mobster guy was like, "What was he thinking, Mike?" And it was Mike and Merrill. Merrill is the mobster, Mike is Regis. He's like, "What was he thinking, Mike?" And then Mike's like, "Clearly, he's not capable of the effort." And, you know.
Man, meanwhile, the Titans fans, if they got a performance like that from their team losing 34-17 to the Giants, they'd be like, pretty good for us.
Anyway, this is just obviously a game the Eagles can't be like affording to drop, not just in the division, but like on the whole schedule. This is just, I know it's just 2 games, but this is like a collapse.
It is for the defending Super Bowl champs. Not only that, they got caught like false starting without the flag being thrown, creating even more controversy on the tush push. There's going to be banned probably by next preseason.
Yeah, it might be.
I mean, I hope it's not, but it
I'm pro tush push myself.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like the play, but I don't think you should ban a play just because you don't like it.
Anyway, we both picked the Eagles. Obviously, we both got that wrong. Let's move on to games we haven't seen yet. First up, and this is, I think, an international game. It says 8:30 a.m. We got the Broncos wherever at the Jets. London, Berlin, who knows? What do you think about this one?
What I think is, even though we haven't seen the game yet, I have seen the future, and the Denver Broncos have bounced back in an unexciting game against the New York Jets.
Did they lose last week?
The Broncos?
Yeah, they beat the Eagles
no,
last week.
they beat the Eagles.
Okay, well, I'm not picking against my fantasy defense, that's for sure. So they better get another 10 tackles or
All
sacks.
right. So you've got the Jets to go 0-6.
Okay. Next up, we've got the Rams at Baltimore, and I feel like I don't know if Lamar is playing this game or not, but even if he was, I think the Rams could easily drop like 40 on this crazy defense. I don't know what the hell is happening in Baltimore, but I'm definitely pro death spiral.
Uh, yeah, it really feels like a collapse to me. I don't think that the Rams are dropping 40. But yeah, like the amount of pressure they can apply to quarterbacks, and with Baltimore not being able to play Lamar, um, yeah, I mean you can't spell Lamar without LAR, and we're both taking them this game for sure.
Clever. All right, next we got my boys. We finally gonna go over 500 with this W. I don't care what these Panthers manage to actually win a game this season or two. We're gonna go in there and we're gonna take as big a dump or bigger than we took on the Jets.
Oh, you guys are gonna take a dump, all right.
Mm.
You're
Go
gonna
ahead.
basically take a dump on the field as Bryce Young puts up 53 points on you.
53. Okay, even if you part the Red Sea, that guy's still a buffoon.
I've got the Panthers.
Okay, homie. You better be wrong. Fucking crazy Panthers. I don't even. They beat two garbage, mediocre teams, probably.
Well, they're about to beat a third.
Oh, wait, they beat the Dolphins.
Yeah.
They beat the Dolphins and some anemic Falcons team. Those are the teams that the Panthers have beaten.
Falcons? Is that the other one?
The Falcons, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, they're about to beat a third garbage mediocre team this week.
Okay, man. Okay. All right, next up we got the Cardinals at Indianapolis. It's no secret. I hate the Cardinals. I've always hated the Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really think the Colts are for real, but at least their offense is clicking. And as long as Jonathan Taylor does well, they're definitely going to beat the Cardinals.
You know what I love about this game?
What?
Both of these teams in the last 2 weeks have had a player fumble a go-ahead touchdown into the end zone for a touchback.
I did not know that.
This is the matchup of just the clowns. I've got Indianapolis, though, and you had Indy too, right?
I just don't believe in Kyler Murray at all.
Yeah,
They
I
need
get
to
that.
bring back Carson Palmer.
You also don't believe in Daniel Jones, and you should.
Yeah, we'll see. Make me believe. All right, next up we've got Seahawks against the Red Hot Jaguars.
Question mark?
Yeah. Seahawks coming off of a big loss, a shootout, and the Jags coming off slaying the hapless Chiefs. What do you make of this?
I'm just looking to see if I have been right about. Yeah, I think I was right once. Yeah, this is basically two teams that I think to most people are surprisingly good. I thought the Seahawks would be good all year. Um, but the Jaguars, as much as last year, I thought maybe they were sneaky good. They've surprised me big this year. I'm very close on this one, especially with Jacksonville playing at home. I do think they've lost a bunch of games at home, but you would still think it's an advantage over playing with Seattle's 12th man. I've still got Seattle, and I'm not at all confident about this one because I think they're two good teams.
Yep, I'm picking Seattle too.
Yeah.
I think it's a fluke the Jaguars' offense was even able to put up that much that they did, and I think Seahawks actually have a real offense that's consistent.
Yeah, I mean they just put
So
up 35 against Tampa Bay in a loss. I mean it was not garbage time. That was a great game. Yeah.
yeah, so I'm with the Seahawks again, but like you said, probably shouldn't be surprised the Jaguars managed to claw some kind of lower scoring victory out of this.
Yeah, if someone gave me like good odds here, I would take the Jaguars. Yeah, respect to both of them. Next, we've got the Chargers and the Dolphins.
All right, tell me how the Dolphins still have a path to the wild card slot.
All right, so hear me out. They don't. I'm going with the Chargers.
Okay, that's pretty down and dirty for your own home team, bro. You know, is there any optimism left in the tank with the emergence of Darren Warren? Tua is not like hurt, mind you, and Jalen Waddle had a good game last game. Is there any optimism? Is there any optimism?
I believe the Dolphins won at least the last 2 games, maybe the last 3 games against the Chargers, because I can remember them. And I don't think there was another game that we lost in between. So, McDaniel has had the Chargers number over the last several years. I think we're just hurting too much right now. The play calling hasn't been great. Hill is gone. The team's morale is not good. Tua has played well in parts, but not well in other parts. No, I don't think that there's much of a chance here. I like the Chargers a lot.
Achan's healthy. His Waller addition looks good. Waddle has stepped up. You're really that down on him, man? You don't think they got a chance? Come on.
I think we can beat the Jets.
Yeah.
I think we could beat the Jets if we played them again. I think we'd have a chance against Pittsburgh. I think we could beat the Raiders. I don't feel good against a good team like the Chargers. No,
yeah,
I'm taking
but
the Chargers.
Are you sure the Chargers are also in a bit of a tailspin? I hear their offensive line is like so incredibly hurt.
Out.
Say that again?
I don't even think we could beat Baltimore with Lamar out. I think they'd find a way to make us collapse in the 4th.
You know what? Ye of little faith, I think I'm going to pick the Dolphins. I've been hearing a lot of really bad things about the injuries stacking up and how horrendous this Chargers offensive line has made it harder for Justin Herbert to perform as well as he did the first half of the season. And there's just too many things I've heard have been piling up. And I look at the Dolphins and I'm like, yeah, sure, they lost Hill, but they still got some talent. I don't really know nothing about how good the Dolphins defense is, but I don't think the Chargers have that great.
They're really good, except on 3rd down.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the Dolphins in maybe an upset.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. I appreciate your faith in my team. I wish I had it as well.
It's more of less faith I've always had in Herbert and the Chargers, and now they're kind of in a mini spiral of their own. I look at the Dolphins and I'm like, they still got pieces. I think, all it would take is Achan, take over the game, one time or something, and he's done that before. So
I agree with that. It's just the pieces aren't coming together well right now.
That's true.
Even the line is not playing real well. There's a lot of penalties. I just think their plays are too sloppy, and their play calling hasn't been as good as I'm used to. So. Yeah. Next up, we've got Cleveland and Pittsburgh. Now, we didn't really mention it in the last week's games, but Dylan Gabriel looked good. I mean, he looked very, very poised as a football player in his first start ever.
He did?
What?
I don't think the stats really support that. I mean, if it was his first NFL start, I'm sure it was okay.
I did watch part of the game. I probably watched over half of the game, and he looked good.
All right, I didn't watch it.
He looked every bit as good as Joe Flacco has lately.
That sucks.
I mean, in the last couple of years.
Okay.
Not necessarily this year, right?
All right.
I'm not saying he was old, Super Bowl Joe Flacco, but he looked as good as veteran journeyman Joe Flacco has ever looked. And he's, definitely the best thing Cleveland has had in a while, at least from, one game of an eye test. It wasn't just that he was making look plays and throwing long bombs. It was that he was really making smart reads on every throw. Just running the game well, being even more than a game manager, just seemed very situationally aware. And that's something that's hard to teach a quarterback.
Okay, so, here I am talking up the Dolphins. You're over here Gabriel. Somehow
they were kind of always, in the last few years, right? one halfway decent quarterback away from being a respectable team, right? And they just spent $280 million on Deshaun Watson for some fucking reason.
Well, I mean, he was good as
Yeah,
when he left the Texans. I don't know what happened after that. Got hurt a
he
million
really
times.
wasn't nearly as good as people thought. And I'd been saying that for years before he even got picked up by the Browns. He really was not as good as people thought. He had very little sense for how to play football. Um, yeah, and then they threw $300 million at him. I am so happy that the Dolphins avoided that bullet. Anyway, I want to take the Cleveland Browns so bad here.
Do it. They got a wicked
You know
good
what?
defense, and you're always saying it. Aaron's washed up. Oh.
Aaron has done just enough to beat bad teams over and over and over, but he has done it almost every time this year. I have a little more respect for the Steelers than I did at the beginning of this year. I was gonna take the
Whoa.
Steelers. I talked myself into it. I'm going for the Cleveland Browns. I'm going
Okay.
for the Cleveland Browns because I really like what I saw from them last week. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I haven't done the 2 hour
Take
deep
it for your
dive
point,
you've
man.
done into this Gabriel guy, but I do think the Browns defense is completely legit. It's been so for like 3 or 4 years, but obviously this is not the Aaron of like yesteryear, but this is
Uh-huh.
an Aaron who has been like safe with the ball, and he has put up decent statistics. He has a
He's been
good
confident.
quarterback.
I have to give him that.
Say what?
I said I have to give him. He's been competent so far this year.
Yeah, if anything, it's the Steelers' defense which has kind of let him down, and that's as how gay as I am for Aaron. That's not something I thought even I would say. But obviously, I'm picking the Steelers. It'd be a cold day in hell where I pick the a Browns rookie quarterback over anyone. Crazy.
I'd feel more confident in my own pick if. Totally fair. I'd feel more confident in my own pick if they were playing at Cleveland. But even so, like I'm gonna allow my heart to overtake my head on this
Mm,
one because I
mm.
really do think it's closer than you think. Yeah.
No, no, I don't think the Steelers are capable of blowing the Browns out. I do think it'll be closer. Obviously, it's just the Browns defense is way too good, and the Steelers offense, while it's been good, it's definitely not explosive.
Hmm.
So I do think it'll be closer, but I don't expect it to be a nail biter.
Yeah, give me the Browns running game, plus a finally competent quarterback, running things, and I'm curious to see what they make of this.
You're really
Uh,
oversampling that one game sample size over there, bro.
I I completely agree with that. But it's all we got.
Uh huh. All right, next up we've got the 3-2 Patriots at the 1-4 Saints with a win under their belt. They leave the Jets in the dustbin of history and move on to the likes of the Browns and the Titans and the Raiders and all the other misbegotten filth that have crawled out of Tartarus.
Yes, is
I
oh
honestly,
boy.
I know it sounds ridiculous, and people are very high on the Patriots right now, but I bet this game it will actually be pretty close because this Spencer Rattler guy has actually he's been a backup for so long that now he's actually like got a lot of experience, and he's actually been pretty good in terms of like production after like 5 or 6 starts and then a bunch of starts last season. This guy ain't like Bryce Young where they'll just make him the starter for 3 years in a row and he'll just like struggle wiping his own ass for like 3 years straight. I think this kid might actually be capable of like learning,
Yep.
how the paper towels function.
Yeah, I mean, you've been picking on Spencer Bledsoe for a while, so nice to hear you say something positive about him.
Well, I look at the numbers.
Yeah. Um, where do you end up when you climb out of Tartarus, Asphodel?
I probably just like the river Styx or something, right? Something like
The
that.
River Styx is how you get there.
Well, that's on the way, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Um,
In
I'm gonna go
keeping
with
with the metaphor.
the Patriots. I still don't think that the Saints are for real as a good team. Whereas like I said, I think the Patriots are for real as a good team now. I have full faith in Drake. And yeah, I think that the just kind of the whole team is playing well around him. I'm going for the Patriots, and I don't think it's such a diss to the Saints to say that.
Yeah, I'm not going to go as far to say the Patriots are a good team, but they're obviously left the mediocre camp. So good
Yeah, I
is
mean,
I
they're
don't
worth
think so.
watching again. For the first time since Tom Brady, right?
But they made the playoffs with Mac Jones once, I think. Uh,
Mm.
1 or 2 years after Tom. But yeah, I'm going with the Pats too. But I expect the Saints to not get annihilated in this game like the Patriots annihilated that other garbage team. Forgot which one it was. They dropped like 44 points on some team a week or two ago. I don't remember who it was, but
Was it Carolina?
probably.
I think it was Carolina. We're about to beat the Dallas Cowboys, by the way.
Yeah, I'm feeling good about this week. This is my chance to boost my lead back up with these picks, man.
They'd give you the gimme on Cleveland.
All right, next up we got the undeniable shit bowl 6 here. We got the 1-4 Titans at home, or I mean playing the Raiders at home, who are also 1-4. And my boy Ashton Genty better fucking explode this game and finally start validating his existence.
Yeah. Let me make a proposition here. This is not Shitball 6. This is Shitball 2025.
Oh, you mean the worst one of the whole season?
Yes.
Nah, well, we can't say that because we don't know how many games the Jets will lose.
That is true. That is true. But do they play either of these? Do they play the Titans or the Raiders all season long?
Well, I'll go one step further. Can the Titans and Raiders ever have 0 wins?
Titans and Raiders? Well, no, they've already won a game, but I
Okay,
imagine
well,
the Jets will win one before the end of the year.
well, for
The
now they
Jets
don't
are
have any.
so bad, they'll probably find a way to mess up and lose the first pick in week 17 when it doesn't matter. And
Yeah,
accidentally win a game.
I think that's possible.
Who you got in Shit Bowl 6? Toilet Bowl 6 then.
I got the Raiders, man. I got the Raiders. I think Gino is having a really bad season, and he's been so promising. I'm obviously not going to call him like Baker's levels of rejuvenating his career, Baker's special, but he has been so promising the last 3 years in Seattle. I can't call it quits on him, not yet. I feel like it's just a matter of time before he has like a big explosive games and kind of quiets everyone down. And this is his get good game or get right game, whatever you call it. It has
They
to be.
definitely need a get good game.
It has to be. I think he's very in danger of getting benched. He's got like more turnovers than like touchdowns or something.
And the Titans at least play good defense sometimes, I think.
Yeah, but I have
Yeah.
to believe in the Raiders. I just have to.
Okay, so we've got another split decision here. I'm picking the Titans, and I want you to tell me why I'm picking them, because I would I've given this reason a lot of times before.
I mean, they do usually have a halfway decent defense, and I think don't they have the number one overall pick as their rookie quarterback? So there's like some kind of spring.
Okay, now here's why I'm actually picking the Titans. It's
Okay.
because they're not the Raiders.
Okay. Okay. I
I
think
can
the
make this
Raiders.
pick against the Raiders every week. It's gonna keep working.
Okay. Well, I mean that makes sense since they're both 1-4, so that's fair.
All right.
I think the Raiders are secretly much better than 1-4. I'm not saying they're great. I'm not saying
You know
they're
what the problem
Patriot
with the Raiders
levels.
is, though?
They just haven't gotten the closer. They've put up points.
The Raiders can never be not the Raiders.
I knew you're going for that. Okay.
That's it.
Next up, we've got the Niners playing the Bucks at home, and the Niners have just found ways to win without Kittle, without 3 of their receivers, and without Purdy. Will they continue chugging along with Mac Jones, or are the Bucks just too big of an ass? Because they dumpstered the Rams, and everyone was swearing up and down they'd lose that game.
In a close game.
Well, they were supposed to get annihilated.
They were supposed to get annihilated. It's really admirable what they're doing. I haven't picked against the 49ers much this season. Obviously, we both took the Rams last week. I still cannot get there against the Buccaneers at home. Tampa Bay, I feel like would be suicide to pick against probably any team in the league. Tampa Bay might be the best damn team in the league right now. I mean, Lions have a case to make,
Yeah, I
but
think
like
the
most
lines
of
are
the teams,
better.
yeah, most of the teams that we had, and that everybody had, right, as the best teams in the league coming in to the season. The Eagles, a lot of people thought the Chiefs. I certainly thought so. Green Bay. Yeah, Baltimore. Right. That they're all kind of falling apart, and Tampa Bay, no matter how many points their defense gives up,
Yeah,
continues to just hang in every single game and win almost all of them. I'm taking the Bucks.
yeah. There's no argument they've obviously been the most clutch or one of the most clutch teams of the season so far. But
Hmm.
I think a few other teams have a better offense, and yeah, their defense is really just piss poor. That being said, they lost against the Eagles. That's their only loss, and they barely lost that. So, yeah, I'm also picking the Bucks just because I have Baker.
So your criteria is: do I have somebody on my fantasy team? I'm picking them.
Well, I kind of have an emotional approach to fantasy. I like to pick the players
Yeah,
that resonate with me personally, and
I get you.
I'm curious to see if Mac Jones keeps stirring the pot, and everyone's saying that you just put in anyone behind like that 49ers like offense and they look good, and this is making Purdy look really bad to see Mac Jones do this well, and he's definitely rejuvenating his career by showing this. Like, if he keeps this up and Purdy keeps being the starter, I think there's a really good chance probably Mac Jones is a starting quarterback next season somewhere. You know.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely fair. And yeah, I'm with you too, man. I tend to be emotional with some of my picks in fantasy as well. There's a reason that I kept picking Marty Booker every single year back in the day. Shout out to anybody who remembers Marty Booker.
I used to have the same kind of gay fantasy for like Alex Smith and Nick Foles when I first started playing fantasy, and Ryan Fitzpatrick. I would like always like jump between these three guys, like over the course of the
I love
season,
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
or I'd have like two of the three at the same time.
You have a man crush on anybody besides a quarterback, though?
Uh, I really liked DeMarco Murray when he was playing for the Cowboys.
Okay.
He
Okay.
was so beastly. It's such a shame he retired so early. He was such a brute. He was awesome.
Yeah.
I like Jason Witten a lot, and how could you not love Jason Witten?
Oh, Jason Witten was really cool.
He
Yeah.
was such a giant.
Yeah, and he was
Uh,
just around for so long.
yeah, of course I love Tony. I'm always gushing about Tony. Tony's always my favorite. So,
Of course.
what was I saying?
I
Oh
don't
yeah, we were
care.
talking about
For
fantasy.
Cincinnati, Green Bay.
Yeah, I'm picking Green Bay for this. I don't think Joe Flacco is going to do much better than the backup that's got benched. I forget his name, but
Browning?
Chase Browning or Chase Browning.
No, not Chase. Jake, I think.
Jake. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Uh, I mean, I think probably the Jamar Chase owners of the world will probably be much happier with Joe Flacco back there. And I do think there's like a 25% chance that Joe Flacco just like explodes in this offense just because they have like really good weapons and stuff. But I expect the Packers to just drop like a shitload on them. So
Yeah, I don't know that I need to add that much to it. I'm taking the Packers as well. Yeah.
I just thought I'd talk him up, Dylan Gabriel style.
That's fine.
Okay. Ne-
You're the one who wanted a short video.
Oh, we're way under budget here. We should already still be in the pre thing before this or whatever.
So we have
All
to come up
right,
with a topic on the spot.
undisputed game of the week Sunday night tomorrow. The Lions at the Chiefs.
Uh-huh.
Who the hell wins this game?
Well, I know who you're taking, so I guess I can go first. I'm gonna go with the Lions. Chiefs just have not been able to put up points to deal with Detroit's firepower. Even though I do think the defense will stop Detroit a fair amount, they'll still find ways to get touchdowns on 3 drives. Detroit's a team that doesn't have to settle for field goals very often. I'm going with the Lions.
Good man. Obviously, it's the Lions. How in the hell are the Chiefs going to consistently get them off the field with that crazy offense that they got? Insanity. Chiefs 2-4.
I wonder whether you've picked a Kansas City Chiefs game correctly this season.
I don't think so. You're right. Thankfully, I think we've both agreed incorrectly on most of those, so it hasn't
Oh
cost
no,
me.
you had Philly beating them in week 2.
Excellent.
Yeah. And you had New York beating them in week 3. That was a mistake.
Fuck. I was all in on the spiral. Anytime it emerges, I'm all in.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was I thinking? Not trusting the Jags. Fuck. I think I picked them against the Chargers in week 1, didn't I, too?
You did pick them along with me against the Chargers. Yeah.
If I had to watch that game on my patio, that's when my power went out for 2 days. Shit. Anyway, both picked the Lions. Next up, our first Monday night game. We got the Bills at Atlanta. And if this isn't a Bills make it things right game, I don't know what is. I've got only slightly more faith in this Michael Penix guy than Kyler Murray.
Yeah, I mean this might be a little interesting just because of Buffalo. Might feel like they're on a little bit of a slide after losing to New England. Atlanta is, not a bad team and is really capable of almost anything. I do still have Buffalo in this one. Yeah, I mean, yeah. How is Penix going to outgun Josh Allen? I like Buffalo here as well, not as much as you do.
And then finally, we've got the Bears playing the Redskins at home. And I actually expect this one to be much more close. I don't think the Redskins look anywhere near as good offensively as they did last season. And I know they won a lot of close games then, but they have definitely come back down to earth. And that doesn't mean I think they're bad or they're going to miss the playoffs, but that means they're vulnerable.
They look thoroughly mediocre right now. Like even outside of just the end results and the stats, the eye test on both their passing and running game and offense kind of look thoroughly unimpressive most of the time.
Yep, that's pretty much what I said.
Yeah. However, Chicago's just a bad team. I'm gonna take.
Are they Raiders bad? Are they
They're
Raiders?
not Raiders bad?
Are they
bad.
Jets bad?
Raiders and the Jets are the 2 worst teams in the league, I'd say. I don't even think they're Titans bad, but
Are Saints bad?
Yeah, they're Saints bad.
Okay, okay. There's a threshold. Okay.
They're Saints bad. They're they're maybe like Cincinnati bad, Cleveland bad. Yeah.
Okay. So you got the Redskins for this?
I've got the Commanders for this, sir.
Yeah, that's the smart money, obviously. Not only that, but it's a home game, and some part of me just buys into like 10% of the hype. I was never one of those Bears making the playoffs guys. I thought they were trending up, but not up into orbit.
Oddly, back when the Bears, maybe like 9, 10, 11 years ago, back when the Bears had a very good defense and could never totally get it together on offense, I was a Bears defender. And I definitely had succeeded in a lot of sports betting, going for the Bears when they were just always underdogs, and I felt shouldn't have been. These days, I just don't think they really have either side of the ball totally down, and so I'm more down on the Bears than most people are.
I hear you. That's reasonable.
Yeah.
I don't feel no logical inspiration is talking to me in my mind to believe in this upset. So I gotta pick the Redskins too.
That's fair.
Doesn't make sense.
Fair. Going for the football team that plays football. Prop bets. I did not come into this week with one. Trying to think of.
I
I
got
almost want
mine.
to shove Dylan Gabriel in your face, but instead I'm going to go with Carolina
Oh
to
boy.
score 45 plus points in their win over the Dallas Cowboys.
45. Come on. We got a garbage defense, but come on, it's not that bad. Come on, it's still the Panthers. I mean, it takes more than just playing against a bad defense. You have to have an offense too, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they've kind of proven it the last couple weeks, haven't they? They've got an offense.
45 and they win. Maybe one of those will be true. They'll win or they'll get 45 and like some crazy blowout because the Cowboys defense is so bad. I
I mean,
dubbed
look.
that sufficiently dumb. You can have it.
All right. What do you got?
I'm going to say, and this is a bit multi-layered, but not too complicated.
Of course it is.
Well, you did all kinds of stupid shit last season. Anyway, I'm going to say in the Bills-Falcons game, this is a call out to one of my boys. The Falcons will be losing at one point in this game very badly. They'll bench Penix, and Cousins will lead them to a victory.
Wow. Okay, I like this one. I actually like this one. You know what I like most about it? Unlike most of the other stupid prop bets, it involves only one game. Benjus Penix, while down by, you want to say how much they're down by, or
Just down.
down 7 plus,
Sure.
10 plus?
Sure.
I'll give you 7 plus. That's fine since the benching is a big thing. And then, who do you have coming in?
Well, Cousins. Kirk Cousins will lead them to victory regardless of the score when he comes in.
All right.
And I hate
That's a
picking
great
against
prop.
the Bills because I love the
That's a
Bills.
great prop bet. I like it.
Okay, glad you like it. I don't like yours because it's crazy.
Now, it is completely contradictory with your actual pick in that game.
Yeah, that's true.
You literally cannot get both to happen at the same time.
Yeah, but having like
You're
4 of
wrong
your
with that
6 prop bets been against the Cowboys.
I don't know. You keep saying that a lot of them are for the Cowboys. Like, I don't know why you keep believing in the Dallas Cowboys defense. It does seem like I've picked a lot of prop bets that involve the Cowboys game. You're right. It's not week 1 and 2. It wasn't. Week 3, it wasn't. Oh no, week 3. Yeah, because Chicago or New York was playing against the Cowboys. Yeah, Chicago was. So that was. Indy comeback was not. Last week was Justin Fields. Okay, so yeah, this is the 3rd week that it's involved a Dallas game.
All right. Well, that does it for our week 6 picks. Upload this super fast so it's remotely relevant, and we'll see you guys next time.
All right, have fun watching the games this week and grow up.